just entered New Mexico. Leaving Colorado, 1 hour to elk camp. Pulling into town, Eagle Nest, New Mexico. This will be base camp for the next 1 to 7 days, depending on Brandon's success.
So this is the third morning of my hunt out in New Mexico. This ended up being the first bull we encountered on the hunt and the first bull I had seen out in the wild in general. He ended up being a nice 6x6 that came in with 4 or 5 cows, and where I was set up in this video, the wind was blowing to my 10-11 o'clock position. And as the bull was working into one of my shooting lanes, one of the cows caught my wind, and you'll see it didn't quite work out in my favor here, but definitely got me fired up for the rest of the hunt. So this encounter happened on the last morning of my hunt. As we were changing locations, we ended up hearing a bull bugle below us on the ridgeline within about 100 yards, so we had to get set up pretty quick. I anticipated the bull to come out on my left-hand side, and as you'll see in the next clip, he ended up coming out on my right. So I had to make some quick adjustments on the fly as he was coming over the ridge, and by the time I got turned over to the right side, he is entering my 35-yard shooting lane, and just couldn't make it happen. So this was a bit of a heartbreaker to happen on the last morning. So after a heartbreaker with that 6x6, we thought the hunt was essentially over. It was the last day of the hunt. Dad and I had a 28-hour drive ahead of us, and we were just going to pack up our things and get on the road that afternoon. On our way off the mountain that morning, though, heard some bulls bugling below us, and that's when we had some last day magic happen. So now the bull's at 30 yards and walking right into one of my shooting lanes. My heart was absolutely beating out of my chest at this point, and I knew all I needed to do was get a chance to draw my bow and make sure I guided that arrow home.
I can help do it. Bet you I can help do it. You can climax it. he's that big 5-point I told you I saw over here the other day.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Those trees right up here stopped spun around and stood there for a second. Then he came across and laid down right behind this one. And then in just a minute he slid out.
Looked like a freaking locomotive coming down.
Yeah.
You heard all the stones and then just a dust line.
Last day, Brandon, any comments?
Hell of a hunt. Well, as you guys can see, I had a very eventful week of hunting out in New Mexico. First 2 days of my hunt started off a bit slow. Bulls just didn't seem to be on their feet, weren't responding to calls. But the third morning, it was like a light switch went off. Bulls were fired up, they were bugling and responding to about everything we threw at them call-wise. And over the course of the remaining 5 days of the hunt, I ended up having 7 very close encounters with bulls. I just couldn't close the deal, whether it was the wrong wind, it hung up out of range, or just couldn't get an ethical shot. But the final morning of the hunt, we ended up calling this guy out of a meadow, and he came up, gave me a nice 25-yard quartering away shot, and the rest is history. I've grown up a lifelong whitetail hunter, hunting Georgia, Maryland, Pennsylvania over here on the east coast of the United States, and had pretty good success, but this was by far the hunt of a lifetime. I was thankful enough to spend this time with my dad, who was behind the camera capturing it the whole time, and made some of the best memories of my life. On this hunt, I was using the 2016 Hoyt Defiant, shooting a Carbon Express Maximo Blue Arrows 350 spine with a 100 grain Schwacker 207 series head, and it closed the deal on me. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my hunt, and thank you.